Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. As always, I am your host, Fearless Floyd. Obviously, you see what today's video is about. It is Monday, January 15th, 2024, Martin Luther King Day. So, celebration to him and everybody who supports Martin Luther King Day. There we go. All right. With David Lester Straight, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Okay? All right. American State National is the new sovereign citizen. Okay, are y'all ready? Let me take you on a little adventure here so I can show y'all how to play stupid games and win stupid prizes. Again, here we go. We got some little bullshit emails from freemanbot.com, David Straight's new scam program, whatever. All right. Winners will be announced tonight. All right. So y'all look forward to that if you're not watching the football games. The Bonnie prayer follow-up. Now here, look, let me address this, folks. Okay, as requested, we would like to express our gratitude to everyone who attended the Bonnie Straight prayer service and sent in the habeas corpus documents. If you have not submitted them yet for a chance, it should be a chance, not change, a chance to win a $3,000 scholarship for the David Straight Mastermind, do so and send proof of mailing today. Today, okay? Do not delay because the drawing's tonight. The response has been overwhelming and we are truly pleased with your dedication and service. All you people out there getting scammed, because I'm fixing to show you why you are being scammed and how you are being scammed, okay? As a token of our appreciation, a big bonus is on its way for those who had submitted the documents, okay? So y'all get a bonus for getting scammed. All right, the prayer service. Yeah. Y'all need to say a prayers for y'all money y'all just gave away. That's what y'all need to say prayers for. Yeah, prayers for your pocketbook, prayers to pay your bills. Oh, all right. As you may or may not know, let me back up and preface everything for those of you who don't know the Bonnie Thomas story, because she's not Bonnie Straight. She never has been Bonnie Straight. She's legally incarcerated in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Correctional Institution Division on the hobby unit as Bonnie Thomas, not Bonnie Straight. So y'all get that correct. All right. So when he says my wife, he's lying. I can't make it up. I keep telling you folks, it's just he's right there in front of your face, and y'all are just like totally overlooking it, listening to the message, thinking that the message is the answer. No, the message is the bait. There is no answer. The answer is you send to David all your money for the next 12 months, and it's going to cost you $3,000 to get in that program, and he's got $1,000 off. So if you're paying $3,000 to go through his 12-month journey to nowhere, okay, and we can mark this Martin Luther King Day, the day they announce the winners. I will be back, Martin Luther King Day 2025, right before the inauguration next year, hopefully, if we're not in some kind of crazy ass civil war or world war or whatever, galactic war. I will repost this. I will go back to this video and preface it. And for all those people who spent the last year of their life on that road to nowhere. So, right here, as you see, this website, Shine, Brandenburg, Schropp, Federal Criminal Law Center. I just picked one at random, okay? Talking about plea agreements, pitfalls, and minefields. In federal or state court, the plea bargain is a difficult and important decision. I've made a bunch of them. I've actually flipped a coin for time. Yes. Okay. So I know what the hell I'm talking. Sometimes a plea bargain is necessary in order to resolve a defendant's case with the most potential for mitigating the outcome. It is hard to make the decision to plea bargain, but on occasion, good offers are made by the government that are both reasonable and fair in light of the totality of the circumstances and the evidence that may be overwhelming to your attorney's ability to mount a successful defense. Pleading guilty has both direct and collateral consequences. The direct consequences are that you agree to plead guilty to a particular crime. And in Bonnie Thomas's case, that was unlawful carrying of a weapon, a firearm, in a public place, namely a courthouse, okay, with either a sentencing limitation or a broad-based sentencing range, depending on if you are a state defendant governed by state sentencing guidelines or a federal defendant governed by the federal sentencing guidelines. The collateral consequences of pleading guilty are that you have a conviction, and that conviction, should you get into trouble a second time, could be used against you to enhance any additional term of imprisonment, or in my case, enhance the elements of the offense from a misdemeanor to a felony or to a higher grade felony. Okay, so there's two types of enhancements: a punishment enhancement, and there's an enhancement for the offensive. Everything's closing because of the weather. No surprise there. I'm sure everything will be closed here in Houston, Texas tomorrow, as well as the next day. We don't do well with frozen roads. There are pitfalls to plea bargaining, and you must be wary of them. If you agree to cooperate with the government, you must do so 100% in order to get any benefit in the plea bargain or the sentencing disposition. If you withhold anything or mislead the government in any way, that information will come back to haunt you, even if you otherwise gave substantial assistance. Frequently, we see minor infractions of the cooperation agreement being used to dismantle the entire cooperation benefit, even though the government retains the information that it was given. Another pitfall is not to get clarification as to the impact of any prior record on your sentence, whether it be for recidivist activity or under the federal sentencing guidelines, career criminal or armed career criminal enhancement provisions. See those statutes. It is also important to be sure, if you can, to get everyone to agree as to what relevant conduct will be used at sentencing as the total offensive behavior. Frequently, we see, during the plea bargaining process, an open-ended plea agreement with an understanding of what you believe to be the outcome, but without clarification of all relevant conduct on a written or oral record. It is my belief that the oral record or the written record should reflect what evidence the government has that would support the findings of fact the court would use to identify what sentencing guidelines should apply to your case. That's mainly talking about federal. Frequently, this is left open-ended for the probation officer to present to the court in a pre-sentence report. The pre-sentence report is subject to objections. However, frequently the pre-sentence report comes back much more severe than what the defendant believed was expected based on the plea agreement. Yeah, I've been through two of those. And that is a excellently true statement, because your own words that you put down that you think can help you will bite you in the ass, as it did me. You see, I take my hand and raise it and accept full responsibility for my actions. And I admit my actions. I learn my lesson and I move on. And that's what I encourage each and every one of you to do. Okay. Take that bite. Ow, David Lester Straight, that hurt. And move on. Okay. Get away from David Lester Straight. Anything about him. They're charging you money. They're ripping you off. The pre-sentence report is already got that. In other words, if you plead guilty to one count of a multi-count indictment, it does not mean that the dismissed counts will not affect the sentence. This is going into federal. We're not talking about federal. We're dealing with state, and effectively, we're dealing with the state of Texas law, which I happen to be pretty adept at. So, and then we're getting into the Texas criminal justice system, which I am a freaking expert at. So, we can move on there. If you can get clarifications what the government as evidence would show, it might avoid conflict between the prosecution and the probation office as it relates to the pre-sentence report and eliminate some of the objections to the pre-sentence report that will have to be made if the pre-sentence report is adverse to what the defendant believes it should have happened. Okay. This first case I've actually used and will use again. Of note, in recent Supreme Court action in the case of United States versus Booker, 543 U.S. 220, 2005, and Rita versus United States. This is that's the Supreme Court reporter, and that's the U.S. series. So that's the Supreme Court reporter. So volume 127, page 2456 is where it starts. In Booker, the Supreme Court determined the federal sentencing guidelines were no longer mandatory or now advisory. Being advisory meant that more cases for mitigation would be presented to the court for decisions outside the guideline range, both in aggravation and mitigation of the sentence. However, in Rita, the Fourth Circuit determined that the guidelines were presumptively reasonable, and the Supreme Court upheld the decision of the Fourth Circuit, indicating that there is a presumption that the federal sentencing guidelines are reasonable, but they are not mandatory. This has now led to a pending Supreme Court matter dealing with whether or not the pre-Booker standard of applying departures under an outside the heartland analysis is still applicable to a sentence below the guideline range, or is there's a reasonable standard for the sentence that depart from the guidelines. Okay, basically, that's what you call split circuit decision. So they're going back to the Supreme Court for clarification, but this isn't a split circuit. It's actually the Supreme Court delivering a opinion that kind of is unharmonious with their prior opinions. So as we move on, should you run into complications regarding your plea, or you feel it was not knowingly or intelligently entered, it is best to discuss that with the court at the time the plea is taken or the sentence imposed. Preserving the record for appeal is very important that you do, and to do that, you have to make the appropriate objections. A motion to withdraw a plea is based upon the defendant's demonstration that the motion is for a fair and just reasons. The decision to allow the withdrawal of a plea is left to the sound discretion of the court. A defendant may challenge a guilty plea on the grounds of ineffective assistance of counsel, preventing defendant from entering a knowing and voluntary plea, which you're going to have a hard time proving that when she paid counsel, and she went through several of them. And a plea cannot be voluntary or intelligent if the advice given by counsel upon which the defendant to his detriment relied upon. This is Rule 11, which doesn't apply, but here we go. Frequently, plea bargaining agreements will also require waivers of appeal or post-conviction relief, i.e., application for petition of writ of habeas corpus to challenge the custody of a felony conviction pursuant to Article 1107 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. Next. Yeah, tell David to spit all that out next time you see him at a seminar. Bet he can't. Bet he can't. So what that's telling you right there is you sign that plea agreement, you waive all rights. Absolutely. She waived all rights. She took 5 years probation. She could have got 10, 2 to 10. But she pled guilty and took that probation so she could ride there out on the streets. All right, so let's continue. Most plea bargains that do not include this allow for appeals on such matters as suppression of evidence, if there is a good faith and reasonable belief that the suppression, Fourth Amendment legal search and seizure, could prevail after further appellate review. However, watch for this language in your plea, as it will keep you from being able to file a direct appeal and a post-conviction writ of habeas corpus. Some exceptions have been incorporated into these waivers, particularly as it relates to habeas corpus petitions still being allowed to pursue claims of ineffective assistance of counsel or prosecutorial misconduct. just like I laid out to you before. However, the prevalence, the win on either of those grounds upon the revocation of a plea agreement and sentence to prison are highly unlikely. Okay. The state has to renege. The state never reneged. She reneged. She didn't show up for probation. She met David Straight and started filing a bunch of bullshit paperwork in the court, and they revoked her probation and sentenced her to 5 years in prison, which they could have sentenced her to 2 years or 10. Okay. But what I'm trying to tell you is if she's attacking her plea bargain agreement on ineffective assistance of counsel, well, what she's going to argue. She's going to argue either Strickland versus Washington or Chronic versus U.S. Those are your two standards. Remember what I explained to those in the last video. Strickland, standard, 2 prongs. What had your attorney done or not done? And had they done or not done it, how would the outcome of the proceedings been different? So if my attorney would have subpoenaed the victim and had the victim testify that the victim eyewitnessed somebody else and not me that shot them in the leg, well, outcome of the proceedings would have been different. He was ineffective. Let's move on to Chronic versus U.S. Chronic versus U.S. addresses how your counsel and their strategy was during trial. The court's opinion was that the attorney, counsel, gave as much representation as a potted plant. Absolutely. That's Chronic versus U.S. Go look it up. Pitch both of them. So I know what I'm talking about. When we start talking about writ of habeas corpus, yeah. What's your next level? What's your next step after 1107? What? Anybody know? Writ of certiorari, United States Supreme Court. And then what'd she do? Where'd she go after that? Better preserve that 1-year equitable tolling that's tolling under the AEDPA Act of 1986, signed by Bill Clinton. Yeah, y'all don't know about that? Yeah. That's to file your 2254, and that's for a state prisoner challenging their state conviction on the federal level. And if they were in federal custody challenging federal, it would be 2255. Or if they were in state custody challenging a federal conviction, it would still be a 2255. Next. All right. Some courts have barred further review on appeal, even under provisions of Booker, when an appeal waiver exists within the plea agreement. Okay? They just go to the record, pull it out, and go, sorry, you waived all that. Have a nice day. Denied without written order with prejudice. Don't come back. Have a nice day. Yeah. And once they deny you on the state level for your writ of habeas corpus, boom, you're barred. No more filing. However, if you're dismissed, you can come back in. There's a difference. Did you know that? Oh, you better go find some better counsel, Bonnie. So finally, there are additional pitfalls that have started to appear in relationship to federal plea bargain agreement, but we're not dealing with plea. Here we go. Prindy versus New Jersey. Cited that case. That case is the backbone of mine. It deals with elements of the offense. At least one circuit court has held that while such waiver may be a valid element of plea agreement between the defendant and the government, the district court may not impose a waiver as a condition of entry of a plea. But Apprendi deals with elements of the offense. All it deals with. All the elements of the offense must be alleged in the indictment or information during trial and charged to the jury to prove a conviction beyond a reasonable doubt. Absolutely. Y'all can go look all that. Look, Ring versus Arizona. Man, there's tons of them. Prindy, Winship. All right. So basically what I've shown you, okay, is that he's scamming you guys. He's taking y'all for a ride. Okay. This habeas bullshit right here. Where's it at? This habeas corpus right here. 1000% bullshit. Bullshit. Straight up bullshit. Doesn't, I'm not even gonna say it doesn't have a leg to stand on. There's nothing to stand. That's how empty it is. There's nothing there. There's not a there. There's nothing there. So all the support you're sending is for naught. It's a moot point. You're wasting your time, money, and energy, folks. That's what David Lester Straight does. Y'all are on a foolish errand. Okay. I, you know, I hate to be the one to break it to you guys over and over and over and over and over and over and over. But man, if y'all want to play stupid games with David Lester Straight, okay, let me show you something else. A little something. Because you see what I have up here, right? It says American or here, American State National is the new sovereign citizen. You don't believe me? I just want y'all to just go to any search engine and type in David Straight. There's the second thing that pops up. What does that say? Sovereign citizen guru David Straight. Okay. That's what pops up. And don't think, here we go. Top sovereign citizen David Straight kicked out over fake license plates. Okay. You folks want to follow an acknowledged, worldwide known sovereign citizen. Y'all keep following this cat right here, David Straight, and y'all are going to win stupid prizes because you're playing stupid games with David Lester Straight. You guys be sure and like this video, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, leave a comment below. Tell me your experiences about David Lester Straight. Tell me your horror stories. Tell me about all the time, money, and energy you wasted. Don't be shy. Don't be embarrassed. Come out of the closet. Face your fears. Get it out of the way. And let's move forward. Okay? Don't be ashamed. We all got taken by somebody somewhere down the line. If you can't admit it, I didn't get taken by Anna Von Reitz. I got taken by the Texas State Assembly. I had no idea who Anna Von Reitz was. Once I found out who she was, well, I left the Texas State Assembly. But I did find a group of like-minded people who really want to do good things, who are now disillusioned, confused, shamed, embarrassed, and exhausted. And that's what this clown does to you. That's what they're here for. To just take you now he's going to take you on another 12-month journey to nowhere. Another year of your life gone, wasted. And at the end of that year, you're like, man, can't believe I did that. I remember that video my aunt sent me of Fearless Floyd talking about how we were playing stupid games with David Lester Straight. And I tell everybody, y'all are playing stupid games with Anna Von Reitz and her bank with Hunter Aki and that whole thing. That's just a big old shit show. And do not send your current foreign currency. If you're holding dinar, dong, bolivar, rupiah, real, if you're holding any foreign currency and you're expecting to go in very soon and exchange it for a greater value than what it is today, and any one of these clowns, David Straight, Anna Von Reitz, any of them ask you for, hey, send us your money. We're going to pull it all together so we get it before all the public get it. Don't believe that. It's a setup. They're going to take your money and you're not going to hear anything back. And you're going to be left penniless. Penniless. All those hopes, dreams, aspirations gone because you gave it away to some scammers and were told they were scammers. I can't make my videos go viral, folks. I can't make you share them with everybody. I can't change people's minds. All I can do is provide information, give you clues, and your mind has to choose your own free will. If you just want to play stupid and be stuck on stupid and play stupid games, win stupid prizes, well, hey, by all means, you have free will to be stuck on stupid for the rest of your life. Thank God. just please don't cross paths with me. That's all I ask. Y'all have a nice day. Do we want the Steelers or the Bills? Well, go out. So who we got to play? We're either going to play Baltimore or.
Where is it going to be cold?
I don't think it matters.
Last practice.
It's going to be cold. Wherever they play, it's going to be cold. So, thank you for all for watching. Appreciate you guys for being here. I'm going to continue to make videos. Believe it or not, YouTube gave me a freaking strike for mirroring another YouTube video of it's either Fox News or Right Side Broadcasting with Marjorie Taylor Greene's COVID-19 hearing. But I did the first part, and then for some reason my laptop miraculously restarted on its own. And so I had to restart the video. So I got two videos. They took one down, but not the other. Sound like a little targeted individual. Again, The Fearless Floyd Show at yahoo.com. If you want to email me, thefearlessfloydshow.com is my website. Today is the last day. If y'all want to go get some of those holiday specials, a couple of y'all been diving in there, picking and choosing. So it's last day tomorrow and turning everything off. Thank you everybody for being here. I'll catch you on the next video. And y'all stay away from the American idiot over here. There, wherever he is. Adios.